What's up, guys? It's your boy Spuddy Studios here, and today I am back to celebrate Superman Day with you guys. Today is a very special day for one of my favorite characters in fiction, and we are going to celebrate that by watching a trailer that apparently was put out by DC. Apparently we get a special behind-the-scenes look of the movie, so that's pretty cool. I've seen that we've gotten a lot of action figures and stuff from the movie. A lot of the merchandise has been revealed today, which I guess makes sense. You reveal it on Superman Day, and hopefully it doesn't take too long for the merchandise to come out, because I'm going to buy as much of it as possible. I'm going to buy the t-shirts, I'm going to buy the sweaters, I'm going to get the figures. I want all of it, because I'm really excited for this movie. I'm loving this depiction of all the characters, their looks, their designs. I heard that some people are saying, and even James Gunn apparently has confirmed this, that this new DC universe is heavily inspired by the Silver Age of comics, where it's a lot more brighter, hopeful, uplifting, and more family-oriented, which I think is a good direction for DC, because if you think about it, DC has never really been, in terms of movies, a family-oriented universe. Like most, and I'm using this because most of the content we've gotten from DC has been like Batman stuff, and I would say the only family-oriented DC content was the original Christopher Reeve movies, probably some of the original Batman movies, especially the Adam West ones, and I think the last one was technically Batman and Robin, but that was just a bad movie in general. But ever since, I want to say like the 21st century, DC has kind of been an overly dark franchise, with the Dark Knight trilogy being super realistic but also really dark, with Man of Steel being a darker depiction of Superman, and the DCEU. There's only been like a few lighthearted stuff within the DCU, like Shazam, Aquaman, the Suicide Squad, and stuff like that. So I think it is within DC's best interest to try to get more families to come watch their content, because that's usually where most of the superhero market makes most of its money from. That's why the MCU is so super successful. So I think that's why they're going in that direction, and I think that's a better option. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't do dark storylines ever again. It just means for now, they need to build up the audience's trust so that they can do those type of darker stories like the MCU did. The MCU did a more lighthearted approach at first, and then over time they started doing more darker stories because they gained the audience's trust by then. So I think that's a good direction. I think that's a good step. But without further ado, I just want to check out to see what we got for Superman Day. One of my favorite characters ever, other than Spider-Man. And I can't wait to see what they gave us. So without further ado, let's check it out. That cape is flapping.
I loved the purity of Superman. It was a time when I was starting to understand what movies were.
Yeah, I saw they filmed I knew they filmed on location.
Superman was in his future.
That's cool that they filmed on location.
That was the one he should be doing. And then he called me one day and he said, I have a way in. I know what I want to talk about.
I had been trying to crack it for years. This character is noble and he's beautiful.
We just finished day one on Superman.
Hello, Rachel.
It's been a hell of a week at the office.
Oh,
His
wow.
script was so unique, his stories that heartfelt.
You know, we love the opportunity.
Oh, the robots are practical?
The
That's
incredible
cool.
DC library of characters and stories, and we really want to do justice for them.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
It's been so much fun to have the gang together finally.
Yes. Oh.
I wear my trunks on the outside of my pants. Like, it's liberating.
I love the look of that suit. It looks so
He
good.
does it with heart.
Superman is a character who's good.
Who is filled with hope. He saves people because it's the right thing to do.
Wow. The suit looks so good in these behind the scenes shots.
Superman was my original superhero, and it started on.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be a game changer.
Oh,
This
what?
is the beginning of the future. They are launching a new era right now.
It's the beginning of a whole new adventure and a whole new universe.
Dude, I love his hair, the hairstyle they went with it being super curly. I love that.
We're just getting started, and we're already deep in the DC universe. In James Gunn we trust, and I think we can do it.
Dude, this looks excellent. That was awesome. I loved all of that. Okay, first of all, there were a couple of shots here. We got some good look at some of the other characters. I'm curious to see some of these action scenes. Like, some of these action scenes look really cool. But that's cool that the robots are practical. That's awesome. And yeah, that was that shot we saw in a magazine. That was cool. We see more of that. But yeah, right there with Hawk Girl and Metamorpho. That was a good shot of Hawk Girl. I like her outfit. Like, I know a lot of people don't, and that's fine because it's not comic book accurate. But it's obviously based on. They're doing a more opposition to the boys, where the boys, most of the superheroes in the boys were corporate stooges that only did what the corporations wanted to, and they only cared about their public image and their polls and their profit margins and stuff like that. Whereas this is similar but different, where in the boys universe, the most powerful being on the planet was Homelander, and the superheroes were all jaded and cynical, and Homelander was the worst of them. In this take, the superheroes, or at least some of them, are still a bit jaded and cynical and corporate focused, but the most powerful being on the planet, Superman, is against that kind of thing. And I think that that's what's going to make it interesting, but also a good contrast to the boys, which has become a lot more popular nowadays. And I think that's going to be a good contrast to see Superman go against the I guess corporations that want to make superheroes like their own private army in a sense, I think. And I think that's really cool. But I like her design, honestly. Like, I think her design is really cool. Like, I like the white orange type of outfit. I like that her belt has the Hawk Girl symbol on it. I like her helmet design. Like, I like the mace. It looks really cool, honestly. But dude, Metamorpho, bro. I didn't know it was all gonna be practical. I knew that his face was gonna be practical, but I didn't think the whole outfit was gonna be practical. I thought it was gonna be like CGI visual effects added to it, but no, dude, that's all practical. That's so cool. That's one of the coolest looks. I love that look. I like that they're going more practical with these characters, because I think it's fine to do CGI mock-ups, obviously, for their powers and stuff like that. But I think for a visual effect, you can make it look CGI. But I like that they're going more practical with these. Like, it looks so good. The robots are practical. Some of the sets and things are practical. Superman's cape seems to be mostly practical, unless he's doing like certain flight scenes and action scenes, which makes sense. But like even characters like Metamorpho, who you would think is CGI'd, is completely practical. That's awesome. And yeah, we saw a little bit more of the Daily Planet. Yes, Clark, Jimmy, Lois. Love it. As long as they don't shoot Jimmy in the face this time around. That would be nice. But yeah, I'm so excited, man. They all look great. They all look great. And yeah, there's this scene where it looks like we have the first look we have of Perry White, Lois, Cat Grant, Ronnie Troop, Steve Lombard in the back. And yeah, that's Ultraman, I guess, punching through those things. And then that's the war. And then we saw Hawkgirl push some dude out of a window, which that dude is probably dead, honestly. Yeah, like she who is this? She pushed this dude out of a window. And yeah, I'm sorry. I love the David Corn sweatsuit a lot. I think it's like one of my favorite Superman suits so far. Like, to me, my favorite Superman suit has always been, in terms of like recently, I love Tyler Hoechlin's Superman costumes. I think a lot of his costumes are really good, in my opinion, for live action. But I think David probably takes the cake for me. Like, it's a good mixture of modern, I guess, like textures and stuff like that, but it still keeps the classic look. I just wish that some of the over-designed lines don't need to be there personally, like on the shoulder area and on the upper stomach area, but it's no big deal. And obviously I know most people were complaining that the suit was baggy, but they did that because David has more mobility when he's moving around in the suit, which I think makes sense. Because I remember hearing a lot of the DCEU actors were talking about how they hated some of their costumes because they were so skin tight, which made it difficult for them to really move around. And even in the movies, some of the times they did look very stiff. So I think it makes sense. And I know Ben Affleck was the one that really complained about it, where he said that he really hated his Batman suit because it was so skin tight and stiff, so it was hard for him to have any mobility. Whereas they're fixing that with David's suit because his suit is more baggy, yes, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to visual effect it so it looks more skin tight. but they're doing that so that David has more mobility when he's moving around and doing action scenes and stuff. And I'm okay with that. As long as he gives us the best physical action scenes they can, I'm okay with it. Like, it's no big deal. It's obviously not going to look like that baggy in the movie. It's just in the behind the scenes. But I love David's suit. I'm sorry. His suit looks great. Like, I like the look of it. I just wish the S symbol was a little bigger. It just needs to be a little bigger. I feel like it needs to be to fill out the chest area a little bit more. But I love this suit. It's so bright. It's so colorful. It's so classic. I love it so much. And I can't wait to see Nicholas as Lex. I'm very curious to see how he's going to do. But there was that other shot here before this one here. What is this? It looks like Lex with some of his LexCorp goons and whoever that is. I think this is the pocket dimension prison that we've seen in some of the trailers where Superman is locked up. I think him and Metamorpho are both locked up in this prison, and it's like a pocket dimension prison that Lex has access to, which I think is interesting. And we see this, and then we see like all of LexCorp goons, which I love the looks of them. Honestly, they all look really cool. Like it looks like a smaller, more condensed version of Lex's big battle suit that he's used to fight Superman, which makes me curious if we're gonna see it in live action one day. I would love if they did it in live action one day. Obviously, they did it in Superman and Lois, sort of, but not completely. But it was still the closest we got to it. But I hope we see it in live action one day. But yeah, I assume that's Ultraman, and then that's the Engineer. So I'm curious to see them. And that ship, I assume that's Mr. Terrific's ship. Hold on. Yeah, I'm assuming that's Mr. Terrific's ship that they're inside, which looks really cool. I like the design of it a lot, honestly. It kind of gives me the same look design of Thor Ragnarok with some of their ship designs. I really like the look of it, the inside interior. I'm looking, that is a cool shot. I'm looking at it looks so good. I can't wait. And yeah, that's a interesting look of David just walking. I assume he's walking to Lex because he's in some type of office. So I'm assuming that's where he's at. Yeah, but I like David's look, man. David looks really good as Superman, dude. Like, he looks great. Like, I like the hairstyle they went with it being more curly. I like the classic suit. Like, I'm very excited about the Kingdom Come logo. I think that's a really cool choice to have it be different from all the other Superman symbols before, but it makes it feel more. I've said it before in the what's it called? The teaser trailer that we did. It looks more like an actual symbol from an alien planet rather than just a Times New Roman S on his chest. Like, I can buy that this is an alien symbol, that we as humans would interpret it as an S. And I think that's why I like it so much, because I felt like one of the things I did like about Henry Cavill's Superman was that the S symbol stood for hope. I like that they made that apparent, that his S stood for hope. But it still just looked like an S, but just more overly designed with all of the Kryptonians' language and signatures on it. But I think this one is a better choice in my opinion, because it is so different than a typical S. It doesn't look like a typical S, but you could still look at it and be like, that's an S symbol in his chest as a human. Like, from our world, you could look at that and say, that looks like an S symbol. But on an alien planet, it looks like a symbol. Like, it looks like an actual symbol. And I like that they went with the Kingdom Come logo. But yeah, that's a cool shot of the suit too. I love that look of the suit. I know we saw this in a far away shot of this in one of the behind the scenes shots when he was holding up something and the cape was flapping ridiculously. But this looks like a more closer, enhanced-ish version of this. But this is the best the suit looks like in terms of action. Like, the suit looks good to me overall, but the suit in terms an action scene looks really good here. And I think I'm not as bothered by the lines when it has the more visual touch-ups on it. When it has the more visual touch-ups on it, it doesn't look as distracting to me. But it looks really good here. Like, I really like that. But yeah, I'm loving the look of that cape. It has so much personality. That cape has so much personality with the S symbol and how bright it is. And I like that they made it as long as Henry Cavill's cape, because I didn't like how short Christopher Reeve's cape was personally. So I like that they made it longer, with Henry Cavill, and they kept it for David. It looks really good. And yeah, I saw some people say that this might be the Doom robot that's in one of the newspapers that was on the trailer. I think that's who that is, but I don't know who that is at all. Like, I don't know if that's Lex in a suit, but I don't think that they would have Lex in the suit so soon. So I'm not sure, but it looks cool. Whatever it is, I'm curious what it is. Eggy Gathegi, man. But yeah, this looks really good, dude. I'm really excited. I like the look. I like the hairstyle. I'm really hyped. I'm hyped for this movie, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for this movie, man. I think this is going to be something special. Yeah, and that's the fire when he's getting attacked by that big kaiju creature. Yeah, I think this is going to be something special, man. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to the Superman behind the scenes look. If you guys did, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite part of this special behind the scenes look is. Are you more excited for this new take on DC? Are you excited for it to be more comic booky, Silver Age inspired? I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video for your boy, hit the subscribe button to be part of the community, and hit bell notifications so you guys know when I shall post next. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace!